Hello everyone, this is part 2 of a series of videos dealing with the Eagle Racing MD2 motor dyno. Alright, so in the previous video I just did just an unboxing, just showing you what the components are and what you need. Now I have everything all hooked up. I'll just go step by step on how I did it. And let's start off first with the battery. Very simple. You got to make sure that this thing is charged all the way up. Now you want to make sure that your speed controller is all set up. So if you can see here, I have everything all wired up nice and neatly, just as if you were to set it up in your car. You have your wires all connected to your motor. You have your sensor cable connected. Now the wire itself that will go into your receiver goes into the ESC input. Now you want to make sure that this is connected properly. Sometimes the connection, you might feel that it's connected. You just want to make sure that the three tines are actually inserted into the connector itself. It shouldn't be too difficult, but I've had problems prior. You want to make sure that the dyno cable that is taking the information from the light is connected here into the sensor input. You want to make sure that your speed controller is on. And then next, you want to take these alligator clips and you want to connect them to the ESC power connections. All right, because it needs power. All right, like so. And try not to get them to touch because that will definitely cause a bit of a short circuit. What you could do is move one off to the side. All right, so there you go. So we got the speed control all set up, motors connected. You want to make sure that the motor is nice and firmly seated in the clamp. If you're running a larger turn motor like a 13.5, I found that the clamping device is a nice machined aluminum surface, but the problem is that the torque itself will cause the motor can to rotate. What I do is I take a zip tie and just zip tie around the motor. So there'll be like that, the square plastic part. I use that plastic part to go at the base so that stops the motor from rotating or shifting whatsoever. I have the flywheel mounted. I try to mount the flywheel as close to the surface here as possible because you don't want to have that flywheel hanging off the end of the motor shaft, because that weight on that, if you push it too far out, it could it could put some strain on the motor shaft itself. So try to get it as close as possible to the block here, but you want to double check because, as you know, there's usually some slop in or free movement with the actual rotor itself. So during acceleration and deceleration, you want to make sure that the flywheel itself doesn't hit this here. So you want to make sure that it's safely away from the mount. Make sure you have this all bolted up nice and neatly. Next is your battery connection. All right, so all you need to do is take your LiPo, get it connected. There you go. So there you go. We're all ready to go to do our dyno analysis. So as you can see here, it's all lit up. You have many functions. What you can do is you can scroll through the settings here. All right, so run motor is where you're going to actually do the whole dyno analysis. Now you have flywheel info. Let's go there. Let's click on that. Enter. So you want to measure the radius of your flywheel. So a set of calipers, you just measure the radius, and you can go ahead and adjust the parameters. All right, the weight and the radius. Now the thing is, with weight, it's not necessarily the same as what is stated in the manual. It's like 116 grams in the manual. I went ahead and I measured with a small scale, and it's 120.9 grams. So you want to just double check that. And then when you're all done, you just, hit enter, saved, and then next you can go test the ESC just to make sure it's functioning. Click on that, ensure safety, press enter. And so it's just measuring the ESC, and that's the neutral and full power, and that's saved. Interval set, I don't really touch that. View record, just deals with after your run, what's information has been recorded. I think it records 3 runs for you, so you can like scroll through that. But I don't necessarily use this function because once I have the computer all set up, I just look at all the spreadsheet data from that. Cycle mode, I think that's more just for brush motors. And PC update, what do I do here? Cycle mode, PC update, you can update it, but I haven't been able to have any success with doing that, so I just leave that be. There's no problems with leaving the dyno the way it is. So there you go. So that's kind of like a little quick run through. So let's run the dyno. All right, now you want to make sure that there's nothing going to obstruct the flywheel whatsoever. I'll try to get the flywheel somehow set up there. All right, that's all right. All right, so there we go. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, check all the connections, make sure everything's good, make sure everything's tightened down, make sure everything's looking good. Let's go. All right, so we want to run motor. Motor type, we want to make sure it is with an ESC. Click enter. Stop motor mode, there's only one mode. I can't change any other mode. Top RPM reach, so what it basically this dyno's doing is it's measuring the motor's RPM, and once it's reached its maximum RPM, the dyno turns off. All right. Ensure safety, so we're about to go. What I usually do is I like to maybe just kind of hold down the dyno a little bit just to make sure, especially if you're on like a slippery surface, this thing could vibrate around depending on what motor you got going. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. So there you have it. It just did its Dyno Run, and then what you can do is click enter, and this will give you your information. Very basic, 8.2 volts. The current was 50.3 RPM. So I think that's at 13,500 RPM. Horsepower 142.5, torque 28.8, and efficiency 80%. All right, and if you want to go ahead, you can go down to the view record and view that exact same information. All right, now let's just scroll through here and see, is there anything else? Okay, and then it breaks down everything into different components. So top torque, time it took to reach its maximum torque. All right, RPM, torque, horsepower, efficiency at that horsepower, voltage. All right, so there you go. That just gives you an idea, but I generally don't use this information that's on the dyno itself. What I would like to do is I like to hook it up to my computer and get that all sorted out. I think that's basically it. It's very straightforward. Just always be cautious with the flywheel. You know, try not to keep don't have your fingers around there. Don't don't stick your face around there. Try to keep it away from you in case something does go wrong. But there you have it. That's how the dyno works. The next video I will show you the PC version of running the dyno through your PC. looking at the information from there. Okay.